Hi guys and welcome to #SoccerKalitzStyle. As you know, the show that brings you all the latest in football, all the developments on the national and international and also the local levels. Today I have a very special guest with me all the way from Germany, Mr. Matthias Volherbst. Hi Matthias, how are you, man?
I'm good, Derek. Thanks a lot for having me.
It's a pleasure, man. Listen, Matthias, could you please tell the fans of SoccerKalitzStyle who you are, what you're about, and yeah, those sorts of things, the team you support.
Absolutely, my friend. So I'm Matthias. I'm based in the south of Germany, 35 years old, and yeah, basically following the Bundesliga for 30 years now, something like that. So I love soccer. I've played for a very long time myself. And I started supporting Bayern and moved over to Freiburg by the years. Maybe I can tell you a bit more about that later. So Freiburg is my local team here. They playing the Bundesliga. Pretty good season this year, and it's my club.
Okay. Thank you very much, Matthias, man. It's a pleasure having you on the show. Listen, it's a real honor for us having a guy from Germany here, so we can hear it from the horse's mouth in terms of the Bundesliga. So we have one spectator watching us. Hi, man. Could you please let us know who you are? And yeah, leave a comment on the link below. Oh yeah, they went off again. Listen, Matthias, so I have a few questions that I quickly want to pose as the fans has asked me to pose you. So first of all, we're gonna start with all the comments about Haaland. Alan Haaland. He's currently at Dortmund. He's having a smack of a season. Do you think that Haaland is going to move after this season to one of your local rivals? Do you think Bayern Munich is maybe in the race for Haaland? Or do you think he's moving abroad to bigger pastures or greener pastures?
Well, I'm pretty sure he won't change within Germany. I mean, what does he want currently at Bayern? They've got Lewandowski, and he's on still on a high of his career. I mean, obviously the two of them would be awesome next to each other, but I don't think that's gonna happen. So I think he'll move to another club, not within Germany. Probably one of the Spanish two big guys. But I also don't know if it's gonna happen this year. Also all the European leagues are hardly hit by the COVID-19 pandemic, and I think it will. They'll probably keep him for another season in Dortmund. Obviously, Dortmund would like to keep him forever. But I think
Yeah.
then in 22 he'll move to another club within Europe.
Listen, man, there's a lot of comparison being made with him and Mbappe. Do you think these two players are necessarily should they be compared in terms of the roles they play in the positions they are in the field and the teams they play? Do you think it's fair of the public to compare the two in terms of stats and goals? Because Haaland has played 14 games, scored 20 goals. Mbappe, on the other hand, has played 44 games and scored, I think, 32 goals and 18 assists. So how would you rate those two players?
Look, I think Germany is one of the best leagues. For me, the best league when it comes to defense in the world, and for that reason, I think it's not very fair to compare the two. I mean, that's it's way easier for Mbappe probably in that regards. So I think it's not fair. Generally, I'm not a big fan of comparing two players against each other. So no, I think I wouldn't do that personally. You still there, my friend?
Matthias, are you still there?
Yes, sir.
Matthias, can you hear me?
Yep. Yeah, I
Can you
can.
hear me?
Yep.
Okay, sure, man. Listen, we just lost connection there for a while. I think it was because of the load shedding. It's just giving us some warning signs. Listen, you are very
Shame.
fortunate there in Germany not to have load shedding, man. This is terrible. Listen, man. Yeah. So
I
you were
know.
saying about the Haaland story. Sorry, man. We totally broke up there. Could you just repeat that again, man? I'm really sorry.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Look, I said I think Germany is for me the strongest league in Europe when it comes to defenders and defending. And I
Yeah.
think for that, it's not really fair to compare Mbappe and Haaland, because I think that Haaland has a slightly more difficult game somehow for that reason. So I wouldn't do that. And generally, in general, I said I wouldn't ever like to compare too much to two different people with each other. You know, they've yeah, of course they're both box players. Maybe Haaland is a bit more of a I don't know. I think he scored also some goals from quite a distance. But generally, yes, I think they're very similar player types, but still different leagues and very difficult to compare statistics.
Yeah. Listen, man, I totally agree with you. Haaland is more of the typical number nine. He loves to stay in the box. He loves to just be the goal poacher. Yeah, though we can score a few goals from outside. I still think that Mbappe on that front, Mbappe is the one who's always running around on the field. He's always wanting the ball, always creating for other players. So it is not comparable to just say Haaland and Mbappe, who's the better player. I think they complement each other on each and every level of the game. They are both great players. Yeah, we can argue to say Haaland has reached more goals in his career than Mbappe at that age. But yeah, that's for the pundits to say. Listen, Matthias, the second question that we have is the following: the German international coach is about to retire after the Euros. Who will replace him on this monumental task of taking the German team forward for the next 20 years? As we know, you don't change coaches that often.
No, we don't. And Joachim Löw has been responsible for the German national team since 2006, when Klinsmann left after the World Cup in Germany. He's even a Freiburg guy, so he's living in the same city as I'm sitting in here, our current coach. It's going to be very, very hard to find somebody to follow him on the same level. I mean, he's really given German football quite a boost internationally in the national team. We don't have a clue who follows him. There's been some names moved around, like Klopp, obviously, as one of the first people. He's not available. And then Hansi Flick, the Bayern Munich coach, who I think is not available. They would be stupid to let him go. And I've just read this morning that there's a lot of people who say if Flick is coming back, then because he's coming basically from the national team, he was one of the assistants there, then it's not the real change that we actually would like to see, and the transformation from the older players now to the younger players. So I think they would do a good job if they brought in somebody new who's also new to the DFB. Whoever that may be, I don't know. It might be a big surprise. Somebody who is not known that well.
Do you really think that they would look past all these great German coaches such as Thomas Tuchel, who's doing great work there? I don't know if I pronounced his surname correctly, Thomas Tuchel or what? And then Hansi Flick, obviously the Bayern Munich coach, and then the name of Jupp Heynckes has also been thrown in the hat. So I don't know. This is a big job for anyone taking over. Um, but why do you think players like or coaches like Thomas Tuchel and Ralf Husenagel and those coaches aren't in the frame for that job?
Well, just because they are doing so well with their current clubs, and they all got contracts. And I currently don't see anyone of the big names who is willing and ready to get out of their contracts. That's the main problem. There's some great German coaches out there, I agree. Also young folks like Thomas Tuchel and Julian Nagelsmann from Leipzig. But man, all of them. I mean, Tuchel just joined Chelsea, and Nagelsmann, I think, joined Leipzig last season. So they're all pretty fresh in their projects, and as far as I can see, they've got quite a lot of fun. So I don't see one of them in the national team. The national team is something very special. I would also say it's not for everyone. I personally would not like to see somebody like Jürgen Klopp there, because I like to see these characters every week on the field with their teams. For a national team, you can have somebody like Heinkes. I mean, he would be wonderful, but he turned, I think, 72 or 73 years old. I hope I'm not mistaken now. But I don't think he will get back into coaching a team. So as I said, it's not an easy one. Big surprise, and they've got quite some time. I mean, it will only be something that will be need to sort it in summer.
Yeah, listen, man, that's a big deal. What do you think your prospects are of winning the Euros this season? Do you think you stand a big chance to do it?
No, not really. I mean, we've been doing terrible in the last World Cup. What was it? World Cup, right? And I think the change, the transformation of the team is still big time in progress. We're still trying to find a new mixture of older and younger players, and I think we're not there, really not yet there.
Yeah, listen, man. I think as always, you will always go into the last four of the competition because the German teams never get knocked out before then. What would be the reason? Do you think Timo Werner and Kai Havertz, while they're doing great at Chelsea, don't you think they have enough credibility or enough on them to take you through to the finals?
Not sure if they need another 2 or 3 years. They're both very young players. Not very young. They obviously have got quite some seasons on their back, but they're not yet known as leaders. At least as far as I've seen and read. But so I think they'll need a year or two more, and maybe they've got to win the one or the other title with their local teams, to get a broad breast and get into the national back into the national team, and really push the guys to win a championship. So yeah, as I said, I think
Listen, man, I was really
we need
impressed.
another 2 or 3 years.
Sorry, come again, Matthias. You just broke up on that last part.
I just was finishing and saying I think we still need another 2 or 3 years.
Okay, to be at that top level Germany that you used to be.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Then the last question that I quickly want to pose to you, Matthias. I know you are very busy, man. I don't want to keep you all day on the channel. Why does Germany have all the best coaches in the world, and why is the German structure so successful over the last 90 years? That's also a question that was posed by one of our fans.
I mean, let's take the first, say, 60 or 65 out of these 90 years or 70 years. So the biggest part of it in the past. I think in football it was a lot about working hard and having a very good defense and playing in a very structured way. That was always very much Germany's part. And then on the other hand, you've had the creativity and the beauty of the game being brought in by teams like Brazil or Italy. And I think in the long run, it was always very successful to have these structured and German values in your game in soccer. And that, for me, is a reason why Germany has been successful over such a long time. Obviously, football is one of our main sports, or the main sports. So we've also got quite a lot of players in Germany. overall, from entry level leagues like where I played until the Bundesliga. And then I think we managed quite well in the last 20 years to find a new way. Also through the integration of a lot of foreign players from foreign country, like Mesut Özil, for instance, who joined us from Turkey. I mean, he could probably have played for Turkey as well, but people like him decided for Germany, and they've been bringing in a whole new culture in playing in the German national team, and that I think they got the integration of that quite well in the last 20 years in the German national team. So I would divide that into the first 70 and the last 20 years. That's for me a bit of a difference in why they've been successful.
Okay, cool, man. That's a nice analysis of it. Because as far as I am concerned, or as far as I know, since I've been born, the Germans always reach the finals. The Germans always reach the semi-finals. You can bank your money on that. German engineering always going and smoothly. Listen, man, Matthias, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. It's really been a pleasure having you on the show. I don't want to keep it too long. We also have a few stuff that we still need to take care of. Listen, I hope this isn't the last time we do this roundup. I hope we can chat again, and then we'll talk about more positive stuff like Freiburg. And oh yeah, let's just give a moment to your team, Freiburg. You said you had a positive season. So what are your realistic ambitions for this season?
Freiburg always has got the ambition of staying in the Bundesliga. That's the first thing, and you can see that exactly now. If they are in a region in the ranking where they've certainly reached the staying in the Bundesliga, then the tension is somehow going down. So I think realistically they will end up somewhere maybe rank 9 or 10 if all goes well. They'll be maybe 8 or 7, but they actually don't want to play EuroLeague. Just because we've made bad experience with that. So I think somewhere in the front mid will be our rank this year, and it will be a good season then for Freiburg.
Okay, thank you very much, Matthias. Listen, it's been a pleasure having you all the way from Germany. Strongs with the baby. How's it going with the baby?
Thanks, very, very good. He's just out for a walk, or he's sleeping. My wife is walking with him. No, he's doing really great. Thanks for asking. He's can't wait to take him to South Africa, really.
Yeah, man. Listen, you should bring him around when you're here. You know where to find me. I would love to see you, Matthias, man. Really, really.
100%. Definitely, man.
Listen. Okay, thank you very much. Listen, Matthias, is there anything you'd like to say to all of our fans that we have across the world? We have some following in the Asian regions and also in Africa. We have in the United States, in Canada, some people watching our show. And the views are coming quite thick and fast from their side. Is there anything you'd like to say to them in terms of the channel, in terms of your personal life, in terms of football, Germany? Any last final words?
I would like to thank you. It's been great fun, really, really great fun. You're doing an amazing job. Very, very thankful and honored that I was asked to join you. And to all of them out there, I would like to say it's difficult times, and I think things like football can really unite us all. We can meet on online platforms like this, or we can watch a game together. You know, if you're sitting in SA, I'm sitting in Germany, and we can enjoy the same thing basically happening on our screen. And I think that's the beauty of soccer. That's what brings us all together, and what keeps us also positive in these difficult times. So don't forget about that.
Thank you very much. Thank you for those wise words and those inspirational words, Matthias. Yeah, like as you said, football is international game, is international family, and with the technology we have available to us these days, you can sit in Germany, I can sit in SA. We watch the game together, we discuss, we feel the same emotions. As you said, man, listen, this is great. Okay, guys, as you heard it from the man straight from Germany, this is #SoccerKalitzStyle. You know what to do. Smash that like button. Stab the like button, do whatever you need to do with that like button, subscribe button. Yeah, so this is #SoccerKalitzStyle signing out.